In 1620, while the Mayflower was in Provincetown, 18 of its men sailed in a small shallop, searching for a place to live. They came to present-day Eastham, where they were met by a group of Nauset. After a brief but violent encounter, the English left towards today's Plymouth. In 2020, we remember this first encounter. We explore its meanings for today and tomorrow.
Welcome to tonight's episode of the Eastham 400's Sunset Series. I am Desiree Cole, and along with my husband Josiah, we founded Eastham's Cole Web Dev back in 2006. Tonight I am here to demonstrate the website created for the Eastham 400 commemoration located at eastham400.org or easthamthefirstencounter.org. The entire website aims to be inclusive and tell both sides of the stories. In addition to members of the Eastham 400 Commemoration Committee and town staff, Dr. Ian Saxine's research for his book, The Story of the First Encounter, at Nauset, as well as existing primary texts, were heavily consulted and available through this site. Steve and Paula Peters from Smoke Signals provided content and website review. The website is built in WordPress, an open source platform. Ultimately, this website will serve as a comprehensive archive for this story. The homepage highlights upcoming events and is the window into the entire website. This summer's Sunset Series and Campfire Series are listed with links. The homepage immediately provides the story of the first encounter and the 1605 drawing of Malbar, Nauset Harbor, by Champlain. The Champlain image opens a door to the imagination of the world that was soon to change so dramatically and tragically for the Wampanoag. On the 16th of December, the Pilgrims set out again in the shallop to explore the Bay of Cape Cod, making camp at the mouth of the Herring River in today's Eastham. It was there they made their first encounter with Nauset warriors, engaging in early morning combat. The Nauset men cried out a warning before letting arrows fly at the party of Englishmen who were made vulnerable as they had just scattered, some to the shore to tend the shallop, while the others remained at their camp. Taken by surprise, they took their weapons and answered the barrage of arrows with musket shot. Edward Winslow wrote that he was among 4 men at the camp, which was first assaulted. They thought it best to defend it, lest the enemy should take it and our stuff. Of note in this description is the date they set out on December 16th. The first encounter was December 18th. Our commemoration is held on December 8th. The link to the old page news style provides an explanation. Eastham has chosen to honor the old style. In 1620, and for many years, Catholic countries used a new Gregorian calendar, and Protestant countries kept the old Julian calendar. There were 10 days apart. For centuries, Plymouth Mass has celebrated the landing as Forefathers' Day on December 21st and 22nd, New Style. Meanwhile, many historians and our Eastham 400 are using Old Style that dates back to the arrival in Plymouth Harbor as December 8th and the shallop landing on Plymouth shore at December 11th. The website also ties together many local stories dating back to the 1600s and 1700s, such as the rescue of John Billington and Reverend Samuel Treat. On the Billington page, this beautiful image showing a representation of a gathering of English and Wampanoag was provided by Smoke Signals. The Billington story is particularly important because it represents a time when 2 parties are again brought together, with native interpreters Squanto and Tokamahaman. The Pilgrim Trail under the next tab, the Mayflower, The Pilgrim Trail shows the path of the Mayflower along the outer shores of Cape Cod, its first landing in Provincetown Harbor, and the final dockage in Plymouth. More significant is the path of the shallop that, upon departing the site of the first encounter, discovered suitable land, Patuxet, for the Pilgrims' new settlement, today called Plymouth. This map, created for the 350th commemoration in 1971 by Cynthia Hagar Crusoe and Anne Hoffman Granberry, is particularly important as it shows the locations of the 69 Wampanoag villages, including Nauset. If you double-click on the image, a high-resolution version appears, allowing one to see the details, including existing Indian trails, pilgrim paths, and significant historical sites of importance to both the Wampanoag and the English. The next tab, the village of Nauset, provides a beautiful image of a Wampanoag home site. Opening the door to our imagination, the page describes what the area and home site looked like at the time. Eastham looked very different in one significant way, as it was heavily forested with large, old growth trees that had not been clear cut by the indigenous people. The Nauset and other Wampanoag people lived in modest homes, called Wetu, made from saplings and reed mats and covered in bark. These multi-generational dwellings warmed efficiently in cold weather and provided cool shelter from the sun. The next tab, From Nauset to Eastham, tells the story of the English return to Nauset. Eastham was purchased by Plymouth Colony from the Nauset people by a grant of the colonial court in 1640, and eventually spread Eastham over 15 miles of lower Cape Cod, including what became Wellfleet to the north in 1762, and in 1797, a southerly portion became the township of Orleans. The land in Nauset was appealing for its good soil, but would only sustain a portion of the Plymouth colony. Over the objections of those who advocated for a unified church, 7 families led by Thomas Prince, a leader in the church and community, were moved to the Nauset territory in 1645. Prince was joined by the families of John Doane, Nicholas Snow, Josias Cook, Richard Higgins, John Smalley, and Edward Bangs, who were lured by the promise of larger tracts of land and better farming opportunities. A copy of the 1666 deed is displayed on this page. The confirmatory deed imposed laws that were entirely unknown to the Wampanoag. The original is housed in the Plymouth Registry deed. Beneath the From Nauset to Eastham link is the first settlers of Eastham. Listing all of the members of the 7 households, including men, women, and children. The credit for this chart is the Eastham Historical Society, one of the commemorative committee's partner organizations. The next link is the Reverend Samuel Treat. Providing another window into the later half of the 17th century, here in Nauset, Eastham, Reverend Treat was a remarkable man and beloved by the hundreds of Nauset living here at the time. In his 1693 report to colonial Puritan leader and Harvard president, Increase Math, Treat boasted of more than 500 Indians in 4 villages within the Eastham township, unto whom these many years past I have from time to time imparted the gospel of our Lord Jesus in their own language. I continue in the same service, earnestly imploring, and not without hopes, expecting and waiting for a more plentiful downpouring of the Spirit from on high among them. Much of what we know or are able to surmise comes from 2 sources. The generous contributions from written and oral histories, both from the English and the Wampanoag, as well as the stories and land itself, tells us. The next tab, Archaeology, describes the many studies from the past. Research is ongoing, and this website will be updated to reflect that over time. Remember, too, that one does not need to go far to see and learn about these sites, as the Cape Cod, National Seashore, the Eastham, and other area historical societies all have collections and exhibits that have been updated and reinterpreted for the 400 commemoration. Places to visit pulls together the important Eastham sites. Eastham's story provides the link to where one can download Dr. Saxine's book, The Story of the First Encounter at Nauset. The event calendar provides updated activities for the Eastham 400 and the other communities honoring this commemoration. The gallery visually tracks some of the Eastham events. News and Videos provides a link to recordings of the many programs for those who were unable to attend in person, and also links to various articles. The Commemoratives page provides an opportunity for purchasing items to enjoy now and pass on to future generations, and also supports the work of the Eastham 400 Commemorative Committee. The website, as well as much of the important events, are made possible by the town of Eastham and our sponsors.